TikTok, time to rock. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon to everyone who's watching from all around the world. Because people all around the world heard that D Wood and the Apostate Prophet got something going down, and they can't stay away.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm David Wood, and with me now is the final prophet of Islam, who's been sent by the great God Allah to lead people away from Islam. How you doing, AP?
I am doing good, relatively. I got very sick today. I have no idea why that happened. It's
Alhamdulillah!
like 4 hours ago, I had nothing. I was completely healthy. I was completely sane. Anyway, we'll see. I'm losing it. I was healthy. I had nothing, but then suddenly it crept up on me. Now my whole body hurts. I have a fever. I don't know what's coming down, but yeah, I'm a little bit sick. But I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. Keeping busy.
Well, it's not because, it's the time of year when people start getting sick. It's the curse of the great God Allah. Just keep that in mind.
It is. It is.
Now you
it is.
know. Now
It
you
is.
know.
We will see it later today that our dear friend Ali D also talks about how Allah is the best of planners or the best of deceivers, and it was probably just his doing. I don't know.
Yeah, so, we're gonna go through this video because, guys, if you didn't catch them, I think the link is, I think I pinned the comment, and the links are in the description box, but you should definitely check out, we're going to be watching
We'll be watching.
We'll be watching Ali Dawah's video, right? We're going to be watching Ali Dawah's video. We're going to go through the whole thing here. But
We're proud of that.
We're proud of the fact that we're going to be watching that. Yeah. So we're going to be checking that out. We're going to go through the entire thing. But if you want to take a closer look at it, the link's in the description box. And then I also have in the description box the 3 links to the videos that gave rise, that provoked Ali Dawah into making this response. So we're going to be checking those out. Now, we do, because I know these are going to come up a ton before we get started here. And then later, people who weren't here at the beginning, they come in half an hour later, they're going to ask the same question. They're going to ask how your wife is doing. Oh, yeah. And then so everyone later on, when you see people going, AP, how's your wife? Then tell them we addressed it here at the beginning and that they need to go back and watch that when they're done.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you so much, everybody. Thanks so much for asking. My wife has been doing much better. She just came back from the hospital, joined us at home, feels much better. The doctor said that her condition is under control, that we just need to watch her health. We will go to the hospital over the next few weeks again and again to keep track of her health, but the worst is over and she's doing much better. So I'm very glad about that. Thank you. Thanks so much, everybody. I appreciate it.
Yes, and European Winter said AP has a fever and he's still streaming. Yes, but we agreed before things started, since we'd already scheduled it, because we would have rescheduled it, but he said he's not too bad here at the beginning. But if he starts having problems, no problem. We'll continue it until we'll do a little continuation.
I will not give up. I'm strong. I have a mission. I will be here. I'm brave.
Yeah. Yeah, it would be cool if you're like sick and throwing up and blood's gushing out of you and stuff, and you're still like, stay away from Islam!
Stay away from Islam. I'm here. Sorry for making it so graphic, but yeah.
well, you haven't been posting much recently, so what have you been working on?
Man, it's a very strange time. So my wife gave birth to a wonderful new little baby boy. Taking care of him very much, but just after that, my wife got sick with a sepsis, which was very brutal. So she had to go to the hospital. I couldn't visit her. I had to stay at home with the kids and take care of them, which is why I have not been able to do anything at all. I was just away and dealing with all of the private stuff and all that. But meanwhile, I'm concentrating on a few things that I'm working on. And one of those things is also a piece of music that I was inspired with and that I have been working on for 2 days, which I want to use
piece
for
of music. Wait, I saw you comment on Colin's music at the beginning of his video. Is that what set you off?
No, I actually had the idea before that.
Oh, okay. So you didn't steal his idea. All right.
Yeah, no, that shaped it a little bit though. So I want to show this to you first, David. I've been working on a piece of music which I want to use for an Islam Rewind video if it works. So let me see if you can. Let me know if you can hear that. You ready? I'm not the best musician. I'm just starting to play with
I'm
music.
impressed. I'm impressed that you've been working on something like that.
Yeah. Yeah. That was good. That was good.
Yeah.
That was
You
good.
can feel free to sample my beatboxing.
I will do that. I will do that. I will take it right from here, and I will just put it into that, and that will be part of the song. I will do that. Okay.
The lawful conservative says, any updates on Yasser Qadi? Yeah, last I heard, there are still holes in the narrative, and I'm a vulgar, obscene, evil jerk.
I actually recorded a response video to him about that. I have to publish it. I haven't been able to work on any of those videos, but yeah.
All right. Well, are we ready to get into this topic?
Yes, yes, yes. Oh, what do people think about the music? Is it good? Do you like me as a musician? This is like I have never done this before. I just started like a few months ago. I started making music.
What do you got a program with like a little keyboard on there, and you just start?
Yeah, I got this FL Studio and got myself a little keyboard and playing with it occasionally, like every day, figuring stuff out, making new tunes. But yeah, it's kind of nice to spend time with that.
Yep.
Oh, people like it. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. It's kind of an oldie sound, but yeah.
Yeah, that's old school there.
Yeah.
All right, so we're here, ladies and gentlemen, to go through Ali Dawah. So again, we each posted a video. I guess we could talk about it because he's going to talk about it, and then we can expand a lot on it. But I'll just give the gist here. I'm sure you've seen this too, AP. Almost every convert to Islam that I've ever met in my life, I start asking, hey, why'd you convert to Islam? And I get some of the most amazing nonsense I've ever seen. They clearly have no idea what's in the Muslim sources, and they're saying things that completely contradict the Muslim sources, and yet these were supposed facts that they were given as part of Muslim Dawah to convert them to Islam, and they had no clue what they're talking about, right? Mm-hmm. And I'd be like, what about this Quran verse? They had no idea what I was talking about. What about this hadith? They had no idea what I was talking about. And yet they converted to Islam based on these reasons that completely contradict the Islamic sources. And then so we basically made some videos to sort of tell people, hey, look, we get it. You want to convert to Islam. You've heard some stuff. Why not slow down and make sure you know what you're getting into and actually look some of this stuff up? Mm-hmm. That sound about right? Has that been your experience? I mean, when you talk to people who've converted to Islam, do you find that they have really awesome reasons for converting to Islam, or have they been spoon-fed a lot of nonsense by people like Ali Dawah?
They have fantastic reasons to convert to Islam. They're so convincing. When I listen to them, I almost want to revert back to Islam. No, just kidding. I recently made a response video to an Islamic convert who is kind of a pop culture convert that was kind of low-hanging fruit. And then I thought, hey, why don't I make responses to some people that seem very serious? So I went live and analyzed this guy, Sajid Lipham, for example, who is a very fundamentalist and very wise Muslim apologist, as they claim and think. And as it turns out, the reasons why he converted were just purely, they were just so nonsensical. They were just full of garbage, to be very honest. I went on to analyze a different one, was also full of garbage. I'm going to go to a different one. They're usually also full of garbage. So I haven't really found any person who has converted to Islam with a very solid reasoning, and that has been my experience so far. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right. Well, so ladies and gentlemen, we made our videos and we kind of went in different directions, and that was kind of the idea for me to really go through even all of the main reasons not to convert to Islam, or for AP to do that, or for Colin to do that, it would have been a very long video. And not everyone's going to click on a 30-minute video. But people might click on one of our shorter videos, and then we linked to the other person's video because we all went in different directions with it. And then so we link to each other's videos. And so the idea is, hey, if you're the sort of person who's only going to watch, a 10-minute video, then cool, click on one of these videos. But then if at the end you still want more, then you could just click on the next person's video and you'll get more because, again, we went in different directions with it. So that's the idea. But then, very quickly, our hero, Ali Dawah,
Ali D,
made a video, and he's proud of that. All right, should we check out the video?
We'll be watching, yeah.
We'll be watching. All right, we ready to start this?
Let's do it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to watch Ali Dawah's entire video. I think I just cut off the music at the beginning.
Oh, that's good. You saved us all from...
Yeah. All right, here we go. Prepare to be dazzled and amazed.
Oh, yeah.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Brothers and sisters and dear friends, stop. Before you're about to accept Islam, you must listen to me. I'm a revert to Islam. I'm a Muslim myself. But before you take your Shahada, you must watch this. Brothers and sisters, welcome to this video. I'll be discussing something very important. Yesterday, 3 videos were released. 3 videos, 2 of them of one Christian Islamophobe, one atheist Islamophobe who claims to be an ex-Muslim, which is an outright lie. He was never a Muslim ever in his life. And another one who's a David Wood wannabe, basically. I'm not even going to mention his name, this guy, yeah? It's just some guy who's just literally begging, he's trying his best. So we're just going to disregard him. He's not even someone that's important, yeah? The rest, the remaining, the other 2, they're not important as well, but I found it very interesting.
Hold on.
That's so rude.
Hold on. Yeah.
You know what I find so funny?
I find a lot funny about what he just said. Go ahead.
Go ahead. You go ahead. I'll come to it.
Oh, wait, what?
You go ahead.
Oh, well, 2 main things there that he said at the beginning. So one, he talked about you and he said you were never a Muslim. Now that's amazing because he's got this other video where he's saying you're going to be publicly executed for leaving your religion. Now, what's he talking about? What religion have you left?
And specifically me. He talks specifically to me and says people like you, so me, little weaklings who leave their religion and spread corruption in society, capital punishment will be applied to you. And we have no doubt and we are proud of that. He says that in the other video, but now he's saying that I was never a Muslim. And
now you have your defense. If they ever are if you ever go to trial and they're like, hey, we're going to execute this man for leaving Islam, you say, whoa. I've got Ali Dawah there. He's over there watching. He's watching. I've got video of him saying I was never a Muslim, and therefore I never left Islam, and I'm not an apostate. Wow. Now, how do you do that? But go ahead. I'm wondering how you do that. I'm wondering how you make it into. We're gonna kill you for leaving Islam. We're proud of that. We're proud of that. You left your religion, little weakling like you, who left your religion and want to spread the corruption, and so you can drink alcohol and cause those kinds of accidents. Blah 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 blah. You're dead. We're gonna kill you. We're proud of that. We're proud. We'll be watching, right? It's He says all of that, and then, but you know what I think the difference is? That's directed towards you. He's threatening you.
Yeah.
And he knows you know what you believed and so on. So, hey, I'm threatening you, and it's in my best interest now for you to know that if I ever get an Islamic society that I'm looking for, I'm going to have you publicly executed for apostasy. But if he's talking to his crowd where they still tend to believe, oh, no one leaves Islam. Anyone who leaves Islam was never a Muslim. Then he was never a Muslim. He was never a Muslim. Don't think that people actually leave Islam. It never happens. Never happens. All right.
People like you, little weaklings. I'm very excited about that, about his very sweet offer that if we have an Islamic society, an Islamic state, then I will be executed because I'm such a little weakling. Isn't that so ironic that I am the little weakling here because I dared to question and to go through thoughts and ideas and studies and this and that, and I've decided that I do not want to be a Muslim anymore, which is why I am a weakling. By the way, in that video, he compared me to Adam Saleh, who is this idiot who has no idea about his religion, who is just this little, prankster guy who has no clue about religion at all. But he thinks that he is better and stronger than me because although he doesn't understand Islam, he still is a Muslim, while I left Islam because I am a weakling. What kind of a dumb logic is that? Yeah. But it is so convenient for this guy to label me as an apostate, a dirty apostate, a traitor to Islam when he's talking to me and when he wants me executed. But then to the public he says, as you said, that I was never a Muslim to begin with. This is just completely out of convenience to just invalidate me before he wants to kill me. But you know what I find so funny? Who is this guy to stand there and to judge whether somebody who at some point left Islam was a Muslim or not, when that person, by their own admission, by their own confession, clearly was a Muslim? If I was never a Muslim to begin with, just because I left Islam and because I speak out about Islam, then how can we trust that anybody who is nowadays a Muslim is actually a Muslim? And who is Ali Dawah to judge that? If I was never a Muslim because I left Islam, doesn't that mean that we can trust nobody, no Muslim at all, when they say that they are Muslims? We should then just approach every Muslim with skepticism, because if somebody is by their own admission a Muslim, then they are to be called a Muslim. But if Ali Dawah simply invalidates people's Muslimhood just because he doesn't like their later actions, then we should just invalidate all Muslims out there, and we should never say that Islam is growing, that Islam has 1.6 billion adherents and all that. Mm-hmm. It's ridiculous hypocrisy.
Yeah. I mean, if you look at the Muslim sources, the requirements for being a Muslim are pretty bare. Yeah, recite these words. These words? La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah. Yep. No, you're a Muslim. You're a Muslim. You recited it. You're good to go.
Let's say, for the sake of the argument, I was a complete idiot when I was a Muslim, and I had absolutely no clue about Islam. Let's assume that. I will admit it. Okay, he's right. When I was a Muslim, I was a complete moron, and I had no idea. I was completely ignorant. I had no idea at all about Islam, no idea what it even was. But I said the words, and I said I am a Muslim, and I believe in Allah. Mm-hmm. By Islam's own sources, that is enough to qualify me as a Muslim. Mm-hmm. So, dear Ali Dawah, sorry.
Yeah, and then we had him saying that he's not even going to mention Islam Critiqued's channel. He's not going to mention Colin's channel. He said he's a David Wood wannabe. Actually, by the way, I think we're gonna get more and more people that kind of seem to be David Wood wannabes, because it's basically people are told all their lives, hey, if you want to get your point across, you have to be extremely nice and polite. And some people are just naturally sarcastic and want to let people have it. And they're told you can't do that. And then they're told especially you can't do that with Islam, because a Muslim will never listen to you if you're being disrespectful and so on. And then people see me and they're like, wait a minute, Muslims can't stay away. This guy's blasting away. And I think that's like, wait a minute, I can do that. I can talk the way I want to talk. I can do this. And guess what? You're just going to have channels where people are sarcastic and brutal because people are finding out, no, you can actually do this on YouTube, and Muslims will actually watch. And Muslims do pay more attention if you're blasting at their sources than they do if you're being a super nice guy. If you're super nice guy, they're not worried about you. Like, no one's going to listen to him. He doesn't really believe it anyway. And so,
you know what's very funny? He said there that Islam Critiqued is some nobody, some unimportant guy. He won't even mention his name. He said he's unimportant. I'm right now checking. Islam Critiqued has 36,000 subscribers. Ali Dawah has 512,000 subscribers. Islam Critiqued's Think About Converting to Islam video, which Ali Dawah is responding to, has 41,000 views, while Ali Dawah's video has 43,000 views. So Islam Critiqued's video has almost the same amount of views as Ali Dawah has, with over 450,000 subscribers fewer than Ali Dawah.
Yeah, and I mean, I can actually understand, because guys, you have to be careful when Yasser Qadi. When Yasser Qadi starts saying, and these ex-Muslims, I will not even speak their names, blah, 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 blah. All I'm hearing is, I don't want to give their names because I don't want people to go look them up, because then they're going to get all these reasons. Then this is going to destroy my religion even more, and blah, blah, blah. And so I want to be careful. You know, same idea here. I don't even want to mention. He knows that all his viewers are familiar with us. He doesn't want to mention someone else's name. And no, now they go watch him too, because Colin is going into he's going into way more on the issue of the Quran and the preservation of the Quran. He's going way deeper than I go in my videos. So he's adding a lot of detail to the discussion by going through scholarly works on the preservation of the Quran. Me, I'm just kind of source based. If a Muslim asks me about the preservation of the Quran, I just point out a bunch of passages in the Muslim sources, talk about chapters coming up missing, verses eaten by a sheep, and stuff like that. But I don't really go much deeper than that. Whereas Colin's going into a lot of detail. So I understand why Ali D, Ali Dawah, Ali G. I'm laughing because people are putting Ali Dawah or Ali G.
Yeah.
Were you familiar with Ali G?
Yeah. I watched that. I watched the thing. What was that? Ali G. What was that movie? One movie.
He had 3 movies.
Yeah, well, I watched.
I saw Borat. I saw Borat. That's the only one I saw.
Oh no, I saw the actual Ali G movie, the one where he hangs out with his crew in the UK, 2 gangs and stuff.
Yeah, he had 4 movies then, because he did the one where he played a dictator, where he played and then he had the Bruno one. All right.
You know what I find funny, by the way? Dawah is hiding the titles of our videos and saying that he will not mention our names. But just a few seconds later, he calls Islam Critiqued a David Wood wannabe. and while hiding the titles of our videos, he's showing your face. And let's face it, everybody who watches Ali Dawah's channel knows who you are. And on my thumbnail, you also see it says Apostate Prophet down in the corner, and you can clearly see me. So this guy has no clue what he's even doing.
But by the way, guys, notice the difference. I mean, this wasn't planned or anything, but I mean, I put the link. I think I did. I think I put a link to his video in the description box. Yes, I put a link to his video in the description box. I put a link to our video. So notice it's, hey guys, you want to explore this discussion? Here's our videos, and here's his video. And in this live stream that we're doing, we're going through his entire video. Whereas him, it's I'm not gonna mention their names, and let me hide the titles. Let me hide the titles, and it's this fear of Muslims being exposed to this stuff. Notice we're not worried about people being exposed to the responses. We're not what.
we are telling people, hey, watch what we are saying and go and watch them. You know, listen to both sides. Let's have conversations. Let's talk to each other. We have no fear of that. We are open to dialogue, but they have this common behavior where they want to deny our existence, not mention our names, while clearly being offended by us and being disturbed by us, because you clearly see it when they respond to us. It really shows how insecure these people are, how much they do not trust their own believers and their own religion. It's very fragile. I even heard from this guy Farid. He was telling people that he makes the response videos, but he doesn't want his followers, his subscribers, to come and to watch my videos.
Well, hey, don't, I can't believe you just mentioned his name. You said Farid. What happens if someone looks up Farid and then they see all his devastating refutations of us?
Delete the stream quickly. Delete the stream immediately.
Wow. Can you imagine? I mean, what does this mean? Now, I understand if you're talking about some people and you know they're not very familiar with stuff, that you might say, hey guys, be careful about, going out and obsessively watching all these people who are going to be, criticizing your beliefs and stuff. Make sure you know what you're talking about first, and then go out there. I understand that, but there is just this fear of, hey, we need to protect the population of the Muslim community, and we need to act like we've refuted all these guys, but make sure these people never actually go and listen to what these guys are saying.
Yeah.
And just imagine knowing that your community's confidence in its religion is that fragile. I mean,
yeah, it is.
I mean, if you've been watching me for a while, I'm not worried about you. I'm not worried about you going over and watching an Ali Dawah video and saying, wow, I want to convert, right? No, I'm not worried about that. That's why I'll give you the link. But his followers who've been they've been absorbing the Dawah for years from his channel, and he's still terrified one of these people will actually go and watch The Apostate Prophet or watch Islam Critiqued or something.
This is a common Muslim attitude. They're trying to babysit the population, the general population. They're trying to babysit their followers. They're actually, while they're doing that, they are, although the general population, the followers are not aware of this, these apologists are basically, insulting and humiliating their own followers, their intellect. They are being condescending. They're saying, hey, dear followers, listen to me. Don't listen to those guys. They might change your mind. Don't do that. While we are here just honestly talking about things and telling everybody to listen to everyone, these people are insulting their own crowds because they think their crowds are not intelligent enough to make their own decisions.
Yeah. We need to jump back in this video, but Al Furqan Al-Haq said, don't leak emails, delete videos, encourage followers not to research critics. Sound true to you? Right?
Yeah.
I mean, could you imagine, like in one of the sciences or something like that, hey, don't go look up responses to my theory here. Don't listen to what any of the critics of my theory are saying. Yeah. If you're really confident that you've got the correct position and that the evidence shows it, what in the world are you so scared of? All right, let's get back to our good friend Ali Dawah.
That these three people. Literally, I watched all of their videos, 3 of their videos, and their videos they are literally begging you, yes, the ones who are watching this, who are on the verge of accepting Islam, they are literally saying this to you: please don't accept Islam. Please don't accept Islam. Hey, look, we'll do a shotgun method. We'll just mention all these verses out of context. Please don't accept Islam. Hey, Islam says kill, destruction, and murder. Please don't accept Islam. Please don't. Islam says you have to beat your wives up. Islam says you can have 4 wives. Islam says this and that about women. A woman has no rights. Please don't accept Islam.
Hold hey, no,
this guy didn't watch any of our videos.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. If he did watch our videos, there are 2 possibilities here, ladies and gentlemen. Either he didn't watch our videos, he lied about it, in which case, okay, so he lied to all of his viewers when he said that. Or he did watch them and he's deliberately misrepresenting them, right?
Yeah, in both cases, he's a liar.
In every way. I mean, everything he's saying, right? So, but notice his position. Guys, don't watch their videos, but their videos are really bad. I'll describe them for you. Just like I will tell you what's in the Muslim sources, you don't actually go there. Don't actually go to the Quran, my Muslim friend. Don't actually go to the Hadith. Don't read about Muhammad. Don't read about any of this. Just believe what I tell you to believe about our religion. That's what he tells people. But then as far as the criticisms, don't actually go to them. I'll tell them, I'll describe them for you. Now, that's hilarious because in all our videos, we're all the same. It's like, hey, we understand you've heard a case for Islam. Make sure you hear some of the other side of the story, because you're jumping into something where if you decide to leave it, eventually the penalty's death. You've got some issues like that, right? So before you jump in, just do a little bit of careful research. That's it. Now, if I were him, I'd be saying, amen, amen. I mean, if he really believed that Islam is true and that when people go and research, has the Quran been perfectly preserved? They're going to find out that the Muslim Dawah teams are right and that the Quran has been miraculously preserved. If you believe that's what people are going to find, why wouldn't you say, yes, amen, go dig deeper? Instead, he says, oh, they're begging you not to convert. No, we're saying, hey, before you convert, you might want to do a little research here. What are your thoughts on that?
I was making jokes in my video. I have no idea what this guy is talking about.
Yeah,
I mean, we were all 3 of us were not in a begging mood. We were not telling people, please don't convert, please don't do this. We were all just being quite confident, talking about things, and most importantly, none of us actually focused on what he describes here, on shotgun, just listing all these out of context verses, killing people, beating wives, and this and that. We mentioned these things here and there, but my focus, for example, was completely the reliability of the Quran and Muhammad, and whether you can trust Muhammad. Islam critiques his approach was basically that you cannot trust the Islamic scripture, that there are holes in the narrative. You touched on similar things. We didn't. We both didn't go deep into how Islam is completely morally wicked. We only touched on it. And this guy is describing it basically like we were just telling people Islam is horrible, death, murder, oppression of women. Please don't convert to Islam. This guy has clearly either not watched the video or he's lying about it, which says a lot. And we have, as you said, all three of us have said, listen to both sides. I made that. I emphasized that too. I said, listen to both sides, listen to them and to us, and then make your decision. While this guy is saying, I'll blur them out, don't watch them, but they basically did this and this and this.
Yeah, guys, I mean, think about the stark contrast there. You watch our actual videos, and we're saying, hey, you've heard the case for Islam. Now, look at both sides, slow down. Before you jump into something, make sure you know what you're doing here. Do a little research. Make sure those reasons are good reasons. We're telling people that. And then how does it get represented by Ali Dawah? One, don't ever listen to that other side. I'll misrepresent what they're saying for you. They're just begging people because they're panicking because so many people are converting to Islam, because Islam is the fastest growing religion in the world and everyone's about to convert to Islam, and so they're so worried about that. But then notice, even as he's describing our points, he can't state anything accurately. So let's what did he say about us with wife beating?
In their videos, they are literally begging.
I don't think he understands what the word literally means. Right? If you say we're literally begging, that would mean please don't convert to Islam. Well, okay, hang on, let's watch a little more.
Yes, the ones who are watching this, who are on the verge of accepting Islam, they are literally saying this to you.
Literally.
Please don't accept Islam. Please don't accept Islam. Hey, look, we'll do a shotgun method. We'll just mention all these verses out of context. Please don't accept it.
Now, notice this would have been a perfect time to give some examples, to take some verses that we quoted and say, hey, here's what they suggested it means. Now let's read it in context. You see, it's the opposite of what they said. It has an opposite meaning. Would have been a perfect time, but not what he gives us. Let's see what he does.
Hey, Islam says kill, destruction, and murder. Please don't accept Islam. Please don't. Islam says you have to beat your wives up. Islam says you can have 4 wives. Islam says this and that about women.
I think he's going to come back to the wife beating point. I only watched this when it came out a while ago to see if we wanted to respond to it. But Islam says this is what they're saying. Islam says you have to beat your wives up. Guys, I think we're gonna see this a lot more. In philosophy, this is a fallacy called a straw man, right? Where you don't attack the actual argument or the actual claim, you misrepresent it and then attack your own misrepresentation of it, right? So it's like if there was a soldier coming at you, instead of you going after that soldier, you build a straw version of it, right? You build like a scarecrow type one, put the uniform on him, and then attack that thing, and then make sure your friends see you attacking that straw man and say, "You see, I beat up that guy. You didn't beat that guy up. You made a fake version of him, right?" Similar here. What did I say in my video? Muhammad allowed his followers to beat their wives into submission. That's indisputable. That's indisputable from the Quran. That's indisputable from the Hadith. But notice, Ali Dawah's fans who are watching, they know you're not commanded, all Muslims aren't commanded to just go around beating up their wives. They know that, right? So when they hear, oh, these guys say that Muslims just have to beat up their wives. Oh, yeah, I can't trust those guys. Yeah, I agree, Ali Dawah. I don't need to go listen to these guys. Wow. Don't watch these guys. I won't even give you the names. Don't watch them. And let me describe what they're saying so that you know you never have to go and actually watch them. And what's amazing is since he blasts with the straw man, then his viewers don't know that, hey, there's anything to refute here. Because what's the original actual claim? Hey, when a Muslim dawahgandist tells someone, hey, you should convert to Islam because Muhammad was a champion of women's rights and blah, blah, blah. They don't bother to tell them that Muhammad allowed his followers to hire prostitutes, that Muhammad allowed his followers to beat their wives into submission, that Muhammad allowed his followers to take their female captives. They don't tell them any of this, right? So notice what we're saying. Hey, guys, before you convert to Islam, if you're believing this argument, then you might want to look into this stuff. And then when he describes it, oh, they're saying this and stuff we're not saying. So this is, it's like, let me say it, the D in Dawah stands for deception. I'll have to figure out what the A and the A, the A and the W and the A and the H stand for, but my goodness, we know what the D stands for. All right, any thoughts on this?
No, perfectly described. Let's move on.
Please
don't convert to Islam. Please.
I'm looking at this. I can't remember what he said, but I can't think of what he said for the next 11 minutes.
Let's see. Okay.
Woman has no rights, please.
A woman has no rights. Did you say that? Did you say a woman has no rights in Islam in your video?
I recently clearly said, no, I didn't say that in that video, but I recently in a different video and in other occasions clearly said that I would never claim that a woman has no rights because that would be an absurd statement. Mm-hmm. If someone says something like that, they're probably mocking Islam or using exaggeration to make a point. But it is an absurd statement to say women have no rights, and I would have never said that.
Notice everything he says we're saying is stuff we didn't say.
Yeah.
Amazing stuff. All right, maybe he'll get to some actual refutations.
Don't accept Islam. And when that was happening, I was thinking to myself, it's like, when you have like I don't know, just a scenario, yeah. I'll give you a little haram scenario. You're in a relationship, with this girlfriend of yours, and you're just like, please don't leave me, please. I'll do whatever you want me to do, please, just don't leave whatever you want. That is how bad the desperation has gotten.
That comparison makes no sense.
What plan? What? Well,
it would make sense if he compared it to. It wouldn't make sense, but it would kind of make sense if he compared, a girlfriend has left you, or you left a girlfriend, and then you cry after her, or you talk about her. Comparing that to leaving Islam and talking about Islam would kind of make sense, although it would be extremely absurd too. But he's not even making that comparison. He's basically comparing leaving a girlfriend or breaking up with a girlfriend and then begging her to us begging people supposedly not to convert to Islam. That doesn't make any sense. Mm-hmm. What the?
So, gosh, we're 2 minutes into this. And so far, he has not accurately represented anything about our videos. And just as he had to obscure things and leave names out, man, he's leaving a lot out. All right, let's watch some more and see.
It's not his fault.
Now, I want to say something very interesting because I was watching one of their videos and look how Allah plans. Guys, please just tune in. Look how Allah plans. I was watching one of his videos. Let's check this out. Listen to this guy here. Listen to this here. On this video, look, listen to this carefully.
Number 2 is beneficial knowledge that a person leaves behind. And number 3 is a righteous offspring that will make dua for their parents once they have departed from this life.
He's doing a video of why you should not accept Islam. Yeah, these 3 main videos released at once because it was an emergency, because there's hundreds, thousands, millions in Latin America. To you name it, all over the world, people are coming to Islam, to big YouTubers, to Speaker's Corner. In Speaker's Corner, I have never come across one person that's come to any other faith as much as they come to Islam. And in his video of telling people not to accept Islam, there is an ad. And the ad is of a prophet doing dawah, calling to Islam. And this is what Allah says they plan. And I plan. And I am the best of planners.
Hold on. So this is the miracle. This is the evidence that Allah is the best of planners. He's the best of planners. Guys, I get messages from people every single day. Dozens of them. Hey, David, I clicked on your video and I got a Muslim ad. Yeah, they run most of the ads that run on my videos, if a video gets accepted for monetization. If I'm talking about jihad or something like that, it doesn't get approved for monetization. But some of them, about converting or something like that, some of them will have ads running on them. And they're almost always Islamic ads. Why? Because I talk about Islam a lot, and therefore YouTube says, let's put these Islam ads on there.
Yeah.
And so notice that's straightforward algorithm stuff. We deal with Islam on these channels. The algorithm knows that tons of Muslims watch our videos, and so they run those ads to appeal to people to make money, because that's what the algorithm is set to do. And Ali Dawah, you see this plan of Allah? You see the plan? Allah planned it. Allah saw them making this video, and he said, "Aha! I'll design the YouTube algorithm so that when someone goes to watch that video, oh, an ad about Islam pops up. Oh, alhamdulillah." My goodness, this is the evidence. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, there's nothing to say, right? It's like, wait a minute. Okay, so the argument from perfect preservation, that turned out to be garbage. The amazing scientific accuracy, that turned out to be garbage. The amazing character of Muhammad, that turned out to be garbage. Muhammad prophesied in the Bible, that turned out to be garbage. Every argument they've ever actually given for Islam has turned out, upon the slightest examination, to be complete, utter, total nonsense. But the amazing proof for Islam is the YouTube algorithm, which pushes ads about Islam on my channel, because we have tons of Muslims watching and we talk about Islam. This is amazing stuff, man.
Alhamdulillah.
It's the proof. You ready to convert?
I am. This is so dumb. This happens, Dear Ali Dawah, DRDG, this happens because YouTube's algorithm system, because YouTube's ad system is kind of dumb. It's a little bit dumb. It doesn't work properly. People, those advertisers complain later because they think that their ads have been misplaced and put on videos that are actually not in their favor, videos that they don't like, but they pay money to those videos. YouTube could control this if they controlled their algorithms and their ads in a better way, but they can't. It's difficult. So what is happening here is actually that YouTube's algorithm system and ad system is faulty. It is a little bit stupid, and that is why you see Islamic advertisements on my video. That is my video, I think. Yeah. That's why you see Islamic advertisements on my video. We also see, for example, Christian advertisements on videos by atheists to talk about Christianity. We see sometimes atheist videos by when you go on Christian channels. This is just something that happens. It happens because YouTube's algorithm is bad. And if you credit Allah for this, this just makes me think Allah's plan, the best of planners, is just as bad as YouTube, so just as dumb. It's Allah's work is pretty dumb. So this is definitely not Allah's work, dear Ali D.
Yeah,
That's very low of you.
and I'll just say this, Ali Dawah, if this is Allah's work, then we're actually the best of planners here. Because think about this. Look at what Ali Dawah was just saying. Look at the Islamic ad. Look, it's a masjid. It's a masjid in the video. This proves the great God Allah is behind all this. He's the best of planners. If that's the case, guys, when they run ads on our videos, we make money from it, right?
Oh yeah.
We make money. I don't get a lot of money from ads because I talk a lot about jihad and most of my stuff is no longer monetized and stuff. But when ads do pop up, that's money to this organization right here. Whoever's channel that was from, whether it was AP or mine or Colin's, whoever's channel that ad was on, that Ali Dawah just watched. Ali Dawah watched the ad to record it. Ali Dawah watched it. And that person just paid me or the apostate prophet money to get Ali Dawah to watch that ad, right? So Ali Dawah was sitting here watching this, and he's funding our work. Yeah. These ads are funding our work. Ali Dawah just paid us money. Not as much money as Muhammad Hijab did when he tried to get us banned from Patreon, but he nevertheless gave us money. And so Allah's brilliant strategy here, Allah's the best of planners because he's funding our channels. This is awesome stuff, man.
Ali Dawah, you, by clicking on my video, that is my video, by clicking on my video, you made me get money from a Muslim organization. So that's an amazing plan. I hope you like that plan just as much as I do. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. That's all I want to say.
Yeah, Stephanie Calligraphy says, "Oh, they're so generous," and they are, and they're proud of that. They're proud of that. Now notice just the best of planners here. Ali Dawah is saying. See, here's what Ali Dawah is saying. I'm going to do everything to keep my viewers from ever looking at your channel, yeah? And
Yeah.
I'm not even going to mention your names, yeah? And no one's ever going to watch your stuff. But here's some money to keep making videos. Wow, they are generous. Wow. And look at the picture you even froze on. Oh, of all the things you're going to stop doing, it's me saying there's only one God. Allah pointing up. You see, this is the miracle of Allah, the best of planners. Well, all right.
Thank you, Ali Dawah. I appreciate it it's not very much that I get from this one view, but if you want it back, I will be happy to give that to you.
Yeah, and notice he makes a stupid video. He makes a stupid video. He makes sure we get some money from ads, but then we do a response video, and then people are chipping in the super chats and stuff right there. It's just these guys are. I mean, if you combine that with the Muhammad hijab money that he got for us when they tried to get us banned, and then we ended up getting way more patrons and stuff like that. These guys are funding like all our future work. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Best of planners. Best of planners.
Yeah.
All right, ready to watch some more? Say yeah.
Yeah.
Here we go.
I know you don't like to hear this. Yeah? In the very video, there's an ad, so you have to watch the ad. It's a 5-second ad you have to watch. And in the ad, what does it say? The brother's giving dawah. He's giving dawah. Subhanallah. Imagine you do a video and put all the effort in, and YouTube has to places an ad, 5 seconds. And it's giving.
Imagine you put all that effort in, and then YouTube says, you're going to take this money. You're going to take this money from this Muslim company that's going to pay you for your ad, for our ad to be there. And us Muslims are watching this ad, and YouTube's forcing you to take this money.
Yeah.
For this video blasting Muhammad. Wow.
Fantastic.
The Dawah man.
Dawah. It's giving dawah. I found that amazing. And there is a massive...
So, Muslims who are watching, he finds that amazing. That's what impresses him. That should tell you something about his understanding of evidence that points to Islam. He's amazed by an Islamic ad on a video discussing Islam that made us money. And that's the work of Allah, the best of planners. Allah couldn't come up with a better plan than that. He couldn't come up with a better plan than that. See, if I was Allah, I would have come up with a much better plan, right? Yeah. I would have chopped my head off right before I made that video.
Yeah. I would send a lightning down for me. As the Quran, as Allah says in the Quran, he hits with his lightning whomever he wills. I would do that if I was in his place. But yeah, you know what I want? I want people who are on the verge of converting to Islam. Those people are pretty much non-existent. There are very few that actually do such a thing. I want people who are on the verge of converting to Islam to go and watch Ali Dawah.
Oh, please, guys, please. Notice he's saying don't watch us. We're saying please watch him. Please go watch his entire inventory of videos. And he's still on the we're begging people not to convert. You mentioned, videos of people who have actually converted and stuff like that. But I'm thinking, like, just going back to someone like Muhammad Ali, right? Mm-hmm. So Muhammad Ali, who's originally named Cassius Clay. I encourage you guys, if you haven't seen my video on Muhammad Ali, watch my video. Probably the favorite video I've ever made. But Muhammad Ali was named Cassius Marcellus Clay. He was named after a Kentucky abolitionist who convinced Abraham Lincoln to issue the Emancipation Proclamation, right? This guy was a Kentucky abolitionist. He was under constant threat. And he's the one who convinced Abraham Lincoln to free the slaves, right? In the Emancipation Proclamation. Muhammad Ali was named Cassius Clay. He didn't know who he was named after. No one ever bothered to tell him, this is what we named you after, right? Mm-hmm. He thought, hey, I was just given some slave name, not the guy who was behind the Emancipation Proclamation. And he said, I want a name from our people. And so Elijah Muhammad convinced him to take the name Muhammad Ali. Muhammad and Ali, two guys who bought, owned, sold, and traded black African slaves. And so just notice this, right? It's, hey, dude, you're named after a very important historical person. You have no idea who that was, and you think it's a slave name, and therefore you want to get rid of it. And in place of what you think is a slave name, you want to take the name of a man who bought, owned, sold, and traded black African slaves. You want his name. What happened there? He was deceived, right? During that time, the 60s and stuff, when Islam is spreading in the African-American community, they don't have Sahih al-Bukhari. They didn't have Sahih Muslim. Muslim scholars had access to these sources, but it's not like now where you could just look up what these sources say online. This allowed the Muslim scholars to say whatever they wanted to say. And all they did was deceive. Hey, what do you like in your community? Oh, Muhammad's the champion of that. Yeah. In order to just get people to convert. And so that's been going on for 14 centuries, tricking people into believing in that's what Dawah is, ladies and gentlemen. It's tricking people into believing in Muhammad by deceiving them into believing a lot of complete nonsense. And so all we're saying is, gosh, we've been seeing that all along. Every convert to Islam that we meet has been deceived in some way like that. Why don't we just tell people, guys, slow down, make sure whatever reason they gave you, go look it up. Do a little bit of research. I mean, you're putting your whole life on the line here. Go look it up a little. And but Allah put the ad on. It's a miracle, and these guys are begging. My goodness, man. Dawah. Guys, watch Ali Dawah's videos.
You know what's funny? I want to add something before we should probably move on, but he's still mentioning how we are begging people because we are afraid that people are converting to Islam, that we are begging people to not convert to Islam, that we want them to stay away from Islam. We don't want them to go close to Islam. The funny thing is, I don't remember any instance where you or me or Islam critiqued have actually come out and talked about how it is very sad that people are converting to Islam, that we should do something to stop this. There is no instance where we have done something like that. Whereas Ali Dawah himself, together with his dear friend Mujab, have come together on many occasions. You can go through their channel on many occasions and have said people are leaving Islam, the youth is leaving Islam. So many people are leaving Islam every year. We must do something, brothers and sisters. Please donate to our charity, to our organization, so we can work and we can stop people from leaving Islam. We can convert people to Islam. Please help us, dear brothers and sisters. They have actually literally done that. I'm using literally in the correct way, dear Ali Dawah. They have really done that.
Not how he uses it, where when he says literally, it's the exact opposite of what they said.
Yeah, exactly.
No, that's a huge point, right? Because I think Islam is crumbling from the inside. People are leaving Islam like it's a sport. I'm just trying to speed up the process here, right? I understand there are some people who still convert to Islam, and it's pretty much always because they're fed a lot of nonsense. I'm trying to speed up the process by, hey, guys, why doesn't everyone who's about to convert, why don't you look something up? Because then you're not going to convert. And then instead of taking this many years, it'll take a shorter number of years for us to deal with Islam, right? So that's my view. It's, hey, I understand a lot of people are going to waste some significant parts of their lives if they accept this and go around converting. And so why not just slow down and look into this a little more? But there's no panic. I mean, I do hear about people converting to Islam, but I hear about way more people leaving Islam than I hear about converting to Islam now. Back in the day, I used to hear primarily about people converting to Islam, and sometimes you'd hear about someone leaving Islam. Now almost every person I hear from who's even talking about converting is leaving Islam. They're becoming atheists or they're becoming Christians. I've seen people, I saw a comment from an ex-Muslim convert to Judaism recently, ex-Muslim convert to Buddhism, ex-Muslim converts to Hinduism and stuff like that. I've heard from all of that, but not a lot of people converting to Islam. So we're not the ones who are in panic now. But yeah, you point out, they're the ones going, so many people are leaving Islam, so many people. And We've got their guys, the avalanche of apostasy, a tsunami. And then you've got 24% of Muslim youth are leaving Islam. What are we going to do? What are we going to do? And so, guys, who's in panic mode here? And Ali Dawah acts like we're the ones who are in panic mode. Oh no, what are we going to do about the couple of people who are still converting to Islam that we're trying to help avoid making that mistake?
I really want to make a video compilation right now. I don't know if I will have the power to do that, but I really want to make a video compilation of just showing this, how he says that we are begging people because we are scared because people convert to Islam. And then I want to take all of those instances in which he and his friend Mojab and scholars and Muslim apologists constantly talk about how people are leaving Islam. I really want to do that so badly.
Now, if you can take that and get it over to Spin and Remixes to remix that, and you put that sick beat you played at the beginning with me kicking off some ill beatboxing, you got yourself #1 single right there.
That would be awesome. That'd be awesome.
All right. Ready to go into this?
Let's go.
Here we go. More Ali Dawah.
Reply before I'm going to get into the main crux of the matter of reverts, because this video is not clickbait. Reverts before you accept Islam, you need to listen to what I'm about to say. I'm going to wrap it up quickly, yeah? Quran chapter 110. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. إذا جاء نصر الله والفتح ورأيت.
Well, what's funny is,
what is happening?
I watched this video when it came out to decide whether we're going to. I must not have been watching closely because I remember almost nothing of anything he's saying here. It's like I'm seeing it for the first time. So I don't know if I was like doing a couple things at once or something like that, but I don't remember any of this. But all right, that's good.
You should have cut that.
It's so powerful. No one could ever come up with something like that.
I feel flabbergasted. Is that the word? Yeah.
Whatever. Yeah, that's correct.
بحمد ربك واستغفر إنه كان توابا. What does Allah say? When Allah ultimately helps, when Allah's ultimate help comes, and the victory over Mecca is achieved, and you, O Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, see the people embracing Allah's ways in crowds, in multitudes, in millions, and in billions, and in multitudes, crowds, then glorify La ilaha illallah, the praise of your Lord, and seek His forgiveness. For certainly He is never accepting. For certainly He is ever accepting of repentance. So, brothers and sisters,
I want to say quickly two things, David. I want to say just two things very short without going too much into them. Number one, Ali Dawah, please leave the Quran recitation to somebody else.
Like Muhammad Hijab.
Yeah, maybe. And number two, Ali Dawah, please leave the preaching to somebody else. Okay, go ahead.
My goodness, man. Wait, now... I mean, do you see what he's doing here? So he's acting like we're panicking because of all the people who are accepting Islam.
Yeah.
We've pointed out there's no instance where we're panicking because of all the people who are accepting Islam.
We're cracking up.
There are with us it's like, gosh, when I hear that someone became a someone, I'll go ahead and lay it out. Most of the time when I hear someone became a Muslim, someone converted to Islam, I think, all right, see you in 2 years when you're out of it. Because most of you are going to leave Islam within 2 years. That's a statistical fact. Most people who convert to Islam leave it within 2 years. And so what we're doing in our videos is, hey guys, why don't you not make that big mistake in the first place? But there's no panicking. There's no panicking. Even if someone converts, I think, okay, well, see you in a while. But you're going to be leaving here soon enough. They're the ones who are panicking. And yet, if you look at him, it's, praise Allah from all these people who are converting to Islam. It's like, what planet do you live on, man? He's doing the same thing. He's doing the same thing that, like, Sheikh Yasser Qadi does. They all do it. It's this, let's pretend that everything is okay. Let's pretend that this ship is not sinking. Let's just pretend. Let's thump our chest and pretend that everything is fine. And in the meantime, they're all panicking because they know the avalanche has already started. and that there are millions of ex-Muslims even in Muslim countries, and that pretty soon they're not even going to be able to intimidate people with executions and stuff like that. They know it. They know the time of Islam is coming to an end. It's like someone who has a boat and they're out in the middle of the ocean and they know their boat is sinking, but they're just trying to bail water. Just as long they're trying to hang on as long as they can by bailing water, right? Knowing that hoping something's going to come along and rescue them. Not going to happen, guys.
Yeah.
All right, you ready? Be prepared to have your mind blown. I can't remember any of this that he's. I remembered something that he said at the beginning, but other than this, yeah, I don't know what I was doing.
We want to make this video a video of where you guys, Alhamdulillah, La ilaha illallah,
Alhamdulillah.
Subhanallah, glorify Allah.
Hey, look at this. So these are supposedly. He's got Lindsay Lohan up there.
Where?
Lindsay Lohan on converting to Islam. This is the great evidence for Islam. One, if Lindsay Lohan had converted to Islam, I'm not sure I'd be boasting about that because she's not the sharpest knife in the drawer.
Absolutely.
And if she had converted to Islam, it would just be evidence that she's around some people who filled her head with a bunch of complete nonsense. But when you look it up, it's, she was carrying around a Quran. And when she was asked about, hey, why were you carrying that Quran around? She said, because some of my friends gave me a Quran. And so I took it because I'm nice. And then she had that incident where didn't she take a child? She took someone's child and started saying that don't mess with Pakistan. And then the other thing, at some point she put on Twitter, I'm saying because, I get to talk, Lindsay Lohan is converted. And then one time she put Assalamu alaikum or something like that on her Twitter page. And then it was, we thank you for embracing Islam. Hang on.
She apparently said that she's interested in Islam a bit, but it looks like she just did that for publicity because things were going wrong in her life. She never eventually converted to Islam. I actually covered that.
Never converted to Islam, huh? Yeah, and yet this is the reason we're all supposed to be panicking. Hang on. I'm going to go. I'm going to go to her Twitter page and we're going to take a look and see if she's wearing a hijab here. We're going to find out if Lindsay is a faithful Muslimah now, and that she is proclaiming Islam and has embraced the truth.
If Lindsay Lohan converted to Islam and I was still a Muslim, I would probably go out trying to distance myself from Islam.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. There she is. There she is at the top. No hijab. She's got a hat on in her little, in one little pic, but wearing some pretty small shorts there. Queen of jewelry. Queen of the jewelry of the world. This is... Listen to me, the OG Mama D, Mom's podcast. Yeah, guys, not sure what you're taking here as this great conversion. Anyway, why did we even go into that little side issue there? All right, but so hey, let's get this straight. Ali Dawah wants to proclaim this epic tide and influx of converts to Islam who are vindicating Allah and showing that this is the true religion, and he's already gotten at least one wrong. All right, we ready to go back?
Yeah, I just want to recite something quickly here to show that I can do it better than Ali Dawah.
Okay.
I haven't prepared for this, but I'll just do it off the cuff. I think the Quran sounds like someone just stepped on my toes. It is almost as beautiful as my nose. Today I'm wearing these beautiful clothes, which have a lot of holes. I don't know. Anyway, it was worth a try.
That was better. That was better than any chapter of the Quran I've ever read. So
that's for sure. But it was definitely better than Ali Dawah's recitation. I would like Ali Dawah to check this out and tell me what he thinks about my recitation. If he can give me some tips on how I can improve myself, I would lovingly accept that. Thank you, Ali Dawah. Mm-hmm. Okay, let's go.
All right, more. Ladies and gentlemen, we give you, once again, Ali Dawah.
LED.
See multitude of people coming to Islam. multitude of people coming to Islam, brothers and sisters. There's a book called Beauty Sick. As I read this book, it makes perfect sense to me why so many women come to Islam. Because the society they live in have sexualized and objectified them to a level that no one actually respects them. They are...
This I remember him saying. This I remember him.
Me too. I thought, what the...
Now, notice how he just presented it. Because this is a perfect example for why we made the videos. I'm reading about women who are being sexualized by the culture, and that's why no one really respects them. And that's why women are coming to Islam. Perfect example. What you really mean is, there are women who don't feel respected in society, or they've been sexualized or whatever, who then encounter someone like Ali Dawah and says, my religion respects you, and they fall for it. We should have had one of our videos that focused on women. Because, whoa, maybe we need to make another round.
Should, especially about women. I always wanted to make a video about women who have the idea of converting to Islam.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so you have in the, I mean, so many directions to go. I don't know. Maybe we should play a little more because we want to hear him out and hear what he's going to say.
I want to say something very quickly. He's presenting the same weird Muslim narrative that many Muslims actually believe, that Western societies, that non-Muslim societies treat their women badly, and that women are valued in Muslim society. No, first off, anyone who believes that has absolutely no clue about Islam and lives under a rock. I want to say,
and to be clear, that's like factually what you just said is factually true, right? The studies that have been done about the treatment of women in places around the world, you look at those lists. When you look at the worst places in the world to be a woman in terms of how you are treated, it's always like 10 out of 12 worst places to be a woman are Muslim majority countries. No matter who's doing, I mean, assuming it's not Muslims doing the analysis, but when it's the World Economic Forum, any of these organizations doing the research, it's like 10 out of 12, it's like 18 out of 20 of the worst places to be a woman are Muslim majority countries. So, yeah.
We have data, statistics that show us that the places in the world where women report the highest number of intimate partner violence, that's the highest in the Middle East, for example, according to information presented by the World Health Organization. We have similar numbers about how the physical security of women is the lowest in the Middle East and North Africa. Also, I just read recently a report in which it was said that the Middle East has an North Africa and the Middle East has an incredibly high rate of women who report to experience sexual harassment and violence in the streets. Now, people like Ali G would for example, argue that women don't experience such things in the Muslim world because they are protected and covered by society, but that's not true. And these rates are so high despite the fact that in Muslim society you cannot just approach a woman outside in public. You can't do that. Like here in America, it is common that if you like somebody, you can go up to, go to them and talk to them, try to get their attention and stuff like that. You can't do that stuff in the Muslim world. If you do that stuff, then you can be lynched by men in society. You can be beaten. You can be killed by the relatives, the brothers, or the parents and relatives of the woman that you are approaching. And despite that, because in Muslim society they don't treat a woman like an independent individual, but more like a woman is the honor of the man. A very primitive attitude. They consider women the honor of the men. So if a different man comes and approaches a woman, that means you have insulted the honor of the men and their family. And the men will then come and seek a violent retribution against you. That is how Muslim society treats women. They don't treat them like actual proper individuals. It's not very different from how I treat my dog, for example. I love my dog. I would never want my dog to be harmed. I respect my dog. I protect my dog. But my dog is not a rational grown-up individual that makes his own decisions. Just because I respect my dog and help my dog and love my dog, that doesn't mean that my dog is an individual that is actually respected just as me. And they treat women like lower individuals that are in the possession, in the protection of men, that are the honor of men. That's just so insulting. And women feel very often incredibly dark in such a society. Yeah.
Let's look at a couple verses here before we go on, so we can keep these in mind. A couple of passages here. All right. So Surah 2, verse 223 of the Quran. Your wives, let's read Yusuf Ali. Your wives are as a tilth unto you, so approach your tilth when or how you will. But do some good act for your souls beforehand, and fear God, and know that you are to meet him in the hereafter, and give these good tidings to those who believe. So your wives are a tilth. A tilth is a field that you plow to sow your seed, right? Your wives are a tilth. Approach your tilth when or how you will, right? When you know the historical background of this, namely that a woman was refusing to have sex with her husband in a certain position. She only wanted to do one position, and she didn't want to have sex in other positions. And so the matter was brought to Muhammad. Hey, this woman does not want to have sex in certain positions. The response came from Allah. Your wives are a tilth to you. They're your patch of land to sow your seed that you plow. You plow and sow your seed. Approach your tilth when or how you will. In other words, what are you talking about? They're your patch of ground for plowing. So plow her however you want, right? Now, what happens if you got a wife who doesn't want to listen? Let's read Pickthall here. Men are in charge of women because Allah hath made the one of them to excel the other, and because they spend of their property for the support of women. So good women are obedient, guarding in secret that which Allah has guarded. As for those from whom you fear rebellion, admonish them and banish them to beds apart and scourge them. Then if they obey you, seek not a way against them. Lo, Allah is ever high, exalted, great. And you can look down here at the Yusuf Ali. Look at the Yusuf Ali below that. Go down to the part where it says beat them. And it says, he adds in parentheses lightly. Not what the Quran says. So why is Yusuf Ali improving on Allah's perfect words by saying that what Allah really means is lightly when he didn't say that? It just says you beat them. Scourge them, you beat them. Let's look at one more passage real quick. So this is Sahih al-Bukhari. And we won't read the entire thing. We've been through this multiple times. Just read the beginning here. Rifa divorced his wife, whereupon Abdurrahman bin Az-Zubair al-Qarazi married her. Aisha said that the lady came wearing a green veil and complained to Aisha, of her husband, and showed her a green spot on her skin caused by beating. It was the habit of the ladies to support each other. So when Allah's messenger came, Aisha said, I have not seen any woman suffering as much as the believing women. Look, her skin is greener than her clothes. Mm-hmm. So think about this, couple of things. One, what was acceptable as a beating in Islam? Well, you could beat your wife until her skin turned green. And the ladies would try to defend each other from their husbands. You can read this entire story. You can look it up. We've talked about it many times. But Muhammad blames the woman at the end of this hadith. The woman is at fault. She's a bad wife. And so her husband was entirely justified beating her until her skin turned green. Now, that's one thing. The other thing is, look, this is Aisha saying, I have not seen any woman suffering as much as the believing women. This is Aisha, the mother of the faithful in Islam, saying, I haven't seen any of the pagan women, the Jewish women, the Christian women. I haven't seen any of these women suffering as much as Muslim women do because of all the beatings they're taking from their husbands. So, guys, notice what sort of fantasy land Ali Dawah lives in. right? And Ali Dawah's land. Oh, you know, the women, they feel disrespected, and so they convert to Islam, and then they realize that now they're respected. Well, okay, that's Ali Dawah, one of the biggest liars I've ever met in my life. I spent years in prison, guys. I met some liars, right? One of the biggest liars I've ever met in my life. Notice, what has he said so far that you can take remotely seriously? That he has stated accurately? What? Nothing. And what's he saying here? Oh, yeah, Islam, that's where women are respected. Okay, that's Ali Dawah, compulsive liar, saying one thing. Aisha, the mother of the faithful, speaking to Muhammad in the presence of Muhammad, said, Muslim women, under your rule, Muhammad, under your rule, under your example, Muslim women are treated worse than pagan women. Why is your religion doing this? Very different. But here's the thing, AP. Do you think when Ali Dawah does his dawah, and notice he said he's reading some book about how women have been sexual. Why do you think he's doing that? He's doing that for dawah, right? So he can, he can go and present to women and say, hey, here's why you should convert to Islam, because, oh, look. Is he ever going to tell them that? Is he going to say, hey, you're a tilth and your husband gets to plow you however he wants in Islam? Is he going to say, hey, your husband can beat you into submission if he wants because the Quran says so? Is he going to say, hey, in Islam, you can be beaten until your skin turned green, it's totally fine. And in Islam, even in the first generation. So you can't say this is a later development, right? I mean, you know, Christians, you can look at something and say, oh, look at this bad Christian husband treatment of wives at some point in history or something like that. We're talking about the first generation under the leadership of Muhammad, who's setting an example for his followers. Aisha, looking at this firsthand, witnessing it all, says Muslim women have it worse than pagan women. It's not us. Yeah. It's Aisha. And what's Ali Dawah going to say? Well, she's stupid. She's a woman. You can't trust what she says. Believe me, I'm Ali Dawah. I've been watching. Wow.
Is he going to tell them that, you know, hey, dear woman, before you convert to Islam, I have to inform you about one thing. Our holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam had a dozen wives that he married because he just wanted to protect them, of course, because, you know, he wanted to offer his protection as the holy prophet, and they needed that, and he definitely had to marry. There was no other way but just to marry those women, 11 of them, 9 of them, and to have sex with all of them, while also having sex slaves, and while also saying to his followers that if a husband desires sex at night, and if the woman refuses and doesn't want to have sex, then the angels will curse her till the morning. Will Ali Dawah really hold that woman and say, hey, wait, stop. Before you convert, I have to tell you this about the Holy Prophet? I don't think so. He should.
I don't normally post a comment that's just a random insult, but I want to remember this comment because it could make a legitimately funny video. Alpha Khan al-Haq said, Ali Dawah is a Muslim version of Dobby.
Dobby?
Dobby from Harry Potter. But now that I think about it, he sounds exactly like him. So that's another character for future reference. All right. So, yeah, ladies and gentlemen, notice he's proving our point exactly, right? He's trying to do dawah in his video responding to us. And it's, here's why women convert to Islam. And what you're really telling us is women convert to Islam because you lie to them about Islam and what Islam teaches about them. And you try to get them in there, get them married before they find out what it really teaches. And then once you've got them, then now they're kind of trapped and it's much more difficult to get out of. That is precisely why we made videos saying, hey, before you jump into this religion, you might want to do a little studying. And his response is a perfect example of why we were encouraging people to slow down, do a little studying, and decide ahead of time. Look, if you're a woman and you decide, hey, okay, so I'm a tilth in Islam. Yeah, I can be beaten into submission. Muhammad allowed his followers to hire prostitutes and to take their female captives and turn them into sex slaves. And Muhammad had all of these wives, and even after having all his wives, he would still have sex with his slave girls. But you know what? This is the religion for me. At least you'll knowingly be making this decision. Too many people make this decision and have no idea what they're getting into. If you are that messed up that you would want to be part of this, hey, that's on you. But our concern is that you've got all of these Dawah guys like Ali Dawah, compulsive liars, telling people to convert for all these bogus reasons, and we come along and see this. And so, guys, we want people to have accurate information. Get both sides of the story. And notice, that is something we pointed out. We've been saying all along, get both sides of the story. Listen to both sides. Listen to Ali Dawah. We've said it like 8 times now. Listen to Ali Dawah and listen to responses to Ali Dawah, and then you'll be better informed.
And we'll be proud of that.
You know what? We'll be watching.
We'll be watching.
All right, we ready to go back to Mr. Dawah here?
Let's go, Mr. Dawah. Mr. D.
Like a piece of meat. And that's why it makes so much sense that the women
Let's go back. It sounds like he's saying, women in the West are treated like a piece of meat, except in Islam, where we pass them around and we got our slave girls and we just sell them one to the next, and we hire prostitutes and we can beat them and they're a tilth, and it doesn't matter if they refuse a sex position, you just make them take it however you want, and no matter what they're doing, if they're cooking, if they're doing, it doesn't matter what they're doing, the husband says, I want this now, you jump up and spread your legs because that's what Islam is, and that's what you actually find. What's he? Oh, but in the West, if you're not a Muslim, you're being treated like a piece of meat. Wow. All right. Yeah. Let's listen to what he says here.
Respects them. They are treated like a piece of meat, and that's why it makes so much sense that the women are flocking to Islam. Can you believe the miracle? The campaign that's done towards Islam.
Lindsay Lohan.
How they've made it out like the way women are treated, and the opposite. And the more women are coming to Islam.
What was that?
So for those reverts who are watching this, for those who are on the verge of accepting Islam, hold on a second. Let me tell you something as a revert. When I came to Islam, wallahi, I'm telling you guys, this is exactly what happened. Yeah? I was stopped. I'm not going to mention who it was. Close family members. Yeah? I was forced. Even before I came to Islam, I wanted to try out fasting. I was insulted. I was sworn at. I was abused. I was kicked out my house. I was called ISIS. I was mocked at. I was laughed. I was called an idiot. I was called everything under the sun. All these doubts they
got the idiot right.
Shotgun method like these guys did. Shotgun. It says here, kill, Mary. All this nonsense. All of them came. And every time I had an answer to it, evidence, not...
Come on. You didn't have an answer to anything, Ali Dawah. Yeah, look, I mean, here's what's amazing, right? Now notice what he's doing. So, all he's done so far, everything we said, he completely misrepresents and distorts it. Then he does a little bit of Dawah, which is a perfect example of what we're talking about. Completely distorts what Islam teaches about women in order to try and win converts. And then starts going on this emotional, well, I'm being persecuted. Oh, it's so tough. It's so tough. Here's the thing. If someone said, hey, I converted to Islam and a bunch of people attacked me over it, and if you listen to what he's actually saying, they were calling me names. They were calling me stupid. This is a guy who says that if you leave his religion and he has power over you, he will kill you. He will execute you. In other words, what he's complaining about right now, the treatment he endured. Oh, I converted to Islam, and people, they made fun of me. They called me stupid. His position is, you leave Islam, if I'm in a position of power, I will execute you. I will chop your head off. Not me, the state, but I will be watching. I will be watching and giggling myself silly as you are beheaded. That's why this is so amazing, right? It's, poor me. I want to behead all kinds of people. And they're calling me ISIS. Why are they calling you ISIS? Because you dream of a day when you can go around chopping heads off, Ali Dawah? Is that why they're calling you ISIS? Right? And he's complaining about being called names and so on. When that's what's amazing. So what we can see here, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't see anything else, notice the level of hypocrisy that you somehow end up with, right? It's, I lie. All I do is lie. All I do is misrepresent. I try to keep people only listening to me, never listening to any criticisms of my position. And then I'm going to try and get the viewers stirred up emotionally. Oh no, this poor guy who wants to behead literally millions of people. Someone called him ISIS because of that. And I can't believe it. Oh, it's so tough. Oh my goodness. And that's what's amazing. I mean, if you said, hey, I converted, and then everyone started beating me up or something, and everyone started beating me up and chopping, I'd be like, wow, that's messed up. That's what he wants to do to other people, and he's whining about people saying something mean to him. And this is notice. And what's the point? He's responding to our videos before you convert to Islam. What in the world is he saying?
But people are calling him an idiot. Idiot.
Said they got that part right.
Ali Dawah doesn't have a problem with people being persecuted. Ali Dawah has a problem with Muslims being treated unfairly.
Yeah.
By unfairly, we mean being called an idiot. Idiot. Oh, so sad.
Yeah. I mean, and
I've never encountered a single ex-Muslim, a former Muslim who has proudly advocated or who proudly advocates for the brutal persecution and the killing, the massacre of Muslims. The ex-Muslims that I know, when they speak about atrocities, they stand up for Muslims. You know, when they speak about China, for example, they call out China and say that an atrocity is going on and people shouldn't be treated this way. Whereas these Muslim apologists, like Ali Dawah and all of his colleagues, all they have for us is that we should be executed, that we should be killed. They don't have a problem with persecution, with injustice. They have a problem with injustice toward Muslims.
He calls for it. Yeah, he calls for it.
Yeah,
He calls for you to be executed, even though he'll turn right around in another video and say, "But you were never a Muslim." Notice what he really has a problem with here, right? He converts to Islam. And this is his testimony. He converts to Islam, and then his family members, they start calling him stupid, and they call him names. But in his mind, wait a minute, I'm superior to you now, because the Quran says, Surah 3, verse 110, that the best of people ever raised up for mankind are Muslims. And the Quran says that non-Muslims are the worst of creatures. Surah 98, verse 6 of the Quran. So you guys are the worst of creatures. I'm the best of peoples. I should be persecuting and attacking you, and you're calling me names? That's what he's really frustrated about. This isn't the way life should be.
Let's do this. Let's do this scenario quickly. You are Ali Dawah. You say that people like me, little weaklings, should be executed because we leave Islam and talk about it. And then I will call you. An idiot because you converted to Islam. Okay. And then you react to that. Okay.
Okay. So one of our famous skits, one of our famous scenario skits. All right, here we go. And you listen to me. I won't even pronounce your name, Ridvan. I won't even say your name, apostate prophet, so that people don't know where your channel is. But listen, little weaklings like you who leave their religion and go around and try to spread corruption in the land, we will chop your head off under an emir. It is done, yeah. And you know what? We'll be watching.
You believe that? You're an idiot.
Does everyone watching? Is everyone watching this? He called me an idiot. Why the persecution of us Muslims never end? He called me an idiot. I can't believe it. YouTube, can you ban him? Can you ban him and David Wood? I forgot I mentioned his name. The name that shall not be mentioned. Can you ban them for hate speech and protect my right to call for millions of deaths? Oh, please, YouTube.
2020 Dawah, ladies and gentlemen.
That was perfect.
All right, shall we go back to Ali Dawah?
Yeah, we should. I'm getting a headache.
We got 6 minutes of it left. We should try to burn through these pretty quick. I can't imagine him saying anything important left, so let's just keep going. Here we go.
Say evidence. You know what was good? Wallahi, I swear upon the Lord of the Kaaba if I'm lying. Wallahi. You know what they would say to me? Yeah? After I would give them the reply. You know what they say to me? Oh, you're an idiot. They'll get aggressive with me. Family members, close family members. You're idiot. You're stupid. You're dumb. You're following.
I don't know. He's talking about being persecuted here, but everything they're saying, I'm like, yeah. And I'm not saying it because he's a Muslim. There are very, very intelligent Muslims out there. I'm saying this particular person, Ali Dawah. Yeah. They seem to be onto something, right? These are the people who know him best, and they're like, Ali, come on, you're going to sit here and telling us what you believe and that we should all join you in going around and chopping heads off? Come on, you're an idiot. And he's going, they're calling me an idiot. Oh, All right, here we go.
Prophet who's like this, who's like that, A'udhu Billah, the greatest man to walk this earth. These men, some of them in my family members, yes, male members who come and tell me, oh, you know, your religion says that you can have 4 wives, etc. And I'm thinking in my head, bruv, no disrespect, yeah, like this, some of them very vile towards the Prophet, sallallahu, yeah. And I'm looking at this family member, a male, and I think, bruv, are you not the same guy who cheated on your wife 3-4 times, bruv? Are you not the same guy? And you're here coming and telling me about women's rights. Are you not the same guy who beats his wife black and blue, bruv? And you're the one coming and mocking me. Yeah? Mocking me. Go to my wife and tell her if I've ever laid my hand on her. Ever. Treated her how you treat your wife. Now, I'm not saying that it's just Muslims that do it and you need Islam in the context of, yeah? There are some good guys out there. The point is this.
Wow. This is the fairest thing
when
that
Allah
I've ever heard from
for a man to marry...
This is the fairest thing that I've ever heard from Dawah.
Yeah.
What is going on?
So what did we have there? So he's saying that some of the people who are criticizing him would point out an issue in Islam, like, hey, why does Muhammad allow men to marry up to 4 wives? Because, you know, Ali Dawah, you're Mr. Dawah, you're claiming that Islam respects women. How, you know, what is your view on that? And apparently he hangs out with all these notorious adulterers and wife beaters that he could just point that out of. But notice, Ali Dawah, I agree with you that a person who cheated on his wife and beat his wife and so on would be hypocrite for complaining, you know, about, you know, your treatment of women or something like that. But I've got one wife. I've never hit my wife. So I'm interested in why your prophet, I mean, really for me, I don't even complain about the polygamy much. My issue that I have more concern with is why Muhammad said 4 wives for everyone else, and he had at least 9 or 11 at one time. In other words, I'm concerned about the hypocrisy. Tell me whatever the rule is. Tell me what your rule is. But then if I see you breaking your own rule, I do not trust you. I don't trust you if you're breaking your own rules, right? Because then you're a hypocrite. So that's my concern. But Ali Dawah, notice, I'm not sure how to get this across, all right? Because notice when Sheikh Yasser Qadhi did the same thing, right? David Wood's manners refute him, therefore we do not need to refute his arguments. No. My argument, your argument stands or falls based on the merits of the argument, based on the evidence for it, right? I said this in a different video. If I come up to you and I say, hey, 2 + 2 is 4, and I punch you in your mouth, and you say, oh, well, he punched me in my mouth. I guess 2 + 2 is not 4. That doesn't make any sense, right? Yeah. The claim is true or false, regardless of whether I'm the biggest jerk in the world, right? So, if we're talking about Islam, and someone is asking, hey, what about wife beating in Islam? And notice Ali Dawah's response. I've never hit my wife. That's great, Ali Dawah. You're a better man than your prophet was. But I'm more concerned about whether Islam is true, whether Muhammad is a true prophet. Muhammad allows you to beat your wife, even if you're a better man than your religion calls you to be. And guess what, Ali Dawah? I agree. As much of a liar and a deceiver and a all-around horrible individual as you are massively better person than your prophet was. Massively better. Massively better. Yeah, see, notice you have David Wood and the apostate prophet right here agreeing Ali Dawah is a much better man than his disgusting, revolting prophet.
Dear Ali Dawah, I hope you acknowledge this, and I hope you thank us for this beautiful compliment. I think you're a much better person than Muhammad.
Yeah, see, I mean, we're happy, right? We're not like, you know, these people who are going around just insulting him for being stupid and stuff. We'll say you're stupid, but we'll also pay you a genuine, heartfelt compliment that you're a better person than your prophet. Well, of course, I don't think I've ever met a person who wasn't a better person than Muhammad, but but notice what you did, Ali Dawah. You take an argument. Hey, you're claiming that Islam is this great solution to the ills of society, but we find that your prophet said, hey, your wife gets out of line, you just beat her into submission. Doesn't matter. Turn her skin green. And your response is, well, I've never beat my wife. That doesn't answer the problem. That just shows that you're a better man than your religion calls you to be, right? Does absolutely nothing to answer the objection or to explain the issue. And AP, I just have to say, this is what I see over and over and over again. Their attempts to respond are always deflections. It's always, they're like magicians, like, you know, like sleight of hand, like, hey, oh, don't look over here. Ha ha! Do you see what I just pulled out of my pocket, right? And never any real serious response to,
they can never
to the
focus on
argument.
the point.
Yeah.
I want to say something quickly here. Ali Dawah is trying to sell himself as this revert and try to jump into the boat of people who have converted to Islam from different cultures. That's kind of a misrepresentation. Ali Dawah is indeed somebody who has converted to Islam and was not officially a Sunni Muslim before, but Ali Dawah is not somebody who came from a distant, unfamiliar culture and then learned about Islam, found it beautiful, and then converted to Islam. Ali Dawah's family, as far as he has talked about it before, and as far as I know, is of Alevi origin. Alevis are a group in Turkey, originating in Turkey from half a millennium ago, like 7 centuries ago or so.
They're like Sufis, right?
Yeah, they are offshoots of Shia Islam, and they're basically mysticists, Sufis. And many of them don't really practice Islam. They don't really follow Islam. They don't really follow the book and all of that stuff. Many of them are quite atheistic or have a very non-theistic or non-Islamic way of looking at religion, at nature, and the world. But many of them are also religious and engage in gatherings where they engage in worship and mourning and remembering Muhammad and Ali and stuff like that. So that's it. He comes from a very fringe, heretical Muslim background and was probably around Muslims all the time as he grew up, because he's also from Turkey and lived in places that are full of Muslims. He's not somebody who had nothing to do with Islam, then found Islam and was like, wow, this is a beautiful religion, let me convert to this. Yeah, so just to set that straight. He keeps doing that. I just want to point that out.
So you're saying, and I had no idea about the background you just laid down. What you're saying is he was, his family line is from a more mystical branch, and he just goes like hardcore, like Salafi, ISIS type and stuff like that. And they're like, "What are you doing? What are you doing? You're stupid for regressing like this." All right, interesting to know. All right, let's see if he's gonna convince us.
2-3 times, etc. Yeah, it's because to honor. If it's going to be done, it's going to be done in the right way. That you don't go and use another woman. Yeah? You have your main wife and you've got side chicks and mistresses and girlfriends that you use and abuse and treat them like crap and destroy them psychologically and mentally. Yeah? And you just use them and chuck them away. Allah says no. If it's going to be done, it's going to be done the right way. You honor her. You marry her, you honor her. So I'm just saying, guys, for those who are on the verge of accepting...
hang on. I have to jump in here, right? Notice this, because this is so ridiculous, guys. Notice his argument right there. So we'll give you his argument. You'll see how stupid the argument is, and then you'll see how the argument falls apart if people would slow down and do a little bit of investigation. So this would be his response. He's doing his dawah, right? And guys, we just played it, right? This is his dawah. Someone would come up to him and say, hey, what's up with Islam allowing marriage to 4 women? What's up with that? That's polygamy. And his response is, but you got these guys who, they have their wife and then they have all these women on the side. And no, Allah's saying, yeah, you can have all of those women. You can have all of those women. You got to marry them because that's the respect. That's the respect you give them, right? Well, a couple things. One, again, what about us guys who aren't going around doing, everything, doing all the things with all the additional women and so on? So that's one issue. But notice, it's like, so, you're sleeping with them and you're not marrying them, so you're dishonoring and disrespecting them. You got to respect them by marrying them. What about the sex slaves, Ali Dawah? Right? If you're saying that you have this superior moral system which won't allow you to have sex with these women unless you marry them and give them this honor, then great. I don't know whatever you believe in, great. That's not Islam. In Islam, you can take these sex slaves and you can pass them around, right? You take your sex slave, you have a bunch of sex with her, you sell her to the next guy and he has sex with her. How in the name of common sense are you treating this as if this honors women? He's proving our point exactly. He says something, and if someone's dumb enough to fall for it, they'll say, "Oh, what a great response there! What a great response!" And the slightest bit of investigation would show how stupid what he just said is, and that if you take it seriously, then you need to throw out Islam, because Muhammad was not respecting his slave girls when he was going around boning his slave girls. All right.
Whoa. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I agree.
All right, let's see what else Ali Dawah has to say.
Islam. Let me tell you something. The only thing that you should be concerned about is what? You know what? Have no doubt, Islam is the truth.
Wait, I don't remember what he's going to say, but what reason has he given us to think that Islam is the truth at all? I don't recall anything. Do you recall anything?
Just accept it. Just Islam is the truth. Forget about the reasoning.
No, again, I don't remember what he said, but it reminds me of every video. It's like Sajid, what's his name, Sajid Lipham or something like that. We're gonna be going through something he said. I haven't watched that, but we're on your channel tomorrow. We're gonna be checking that out. But in Sajid's video that I did watch, he's talking about how Yasser Qadi is casting doubts on Yasser Qadi. He's casting doubts on the preservation of the Quran, you know? And it's like, where's your hikmah, man? Your hikmah, right?
The absence of hikmah.
But then then he'll just say, but we know the Quran has been perfectly preserved. We know the Quran. It's like, you guys keep saying it. Where's the evidence? And Ali Dawah just jumps into, we know it's the truth. And it's like, wait.
We just know it.
Wow. All right. Canadian Catholic said, I guess we all have to take the Shahada now.
Yeah, I'm convinced. I'm sold.
Because Ali Dawah, he said it. He said it's we have to know. All right.
Why are we even debating? This is ridiculous.
No shadow of a doubt.
No shadow of a doubt.
Shadow of a doubt. Islam is the truth. The only thing that you need to be concerned about is the persecution that you're going to suffer. Yeah? Because I've heard stories of being spat in the face, kicked out their house.
People may call you stupid when you're going around talking about chopping the heads off. Yeah.
The persecution you're going to suffer.
This is what's. You look at like what actual persecution is like, and we grant there are people like the Uyghurs and so on who are persecuted. We grant that. We have no problem. The idea that he's acting like he's persecuted when he's going around talking about executing people, and he's defended by politicians and the platforms, and a platform like YouTube can say, nope, he has every right to call for the deaths of millions of people on our platform. Everyone, all the powers that be are defending this guy. He's complaining about how horrible the persecution is against him. My goodness.
Yeah. It's ridiculous. It's so stupid. I don't even know what to say. I really don't even know how to respond to it. It's so dumb.
All right, here we go.
Yeah? Our brother Isa, may Allah have mercy on him, who passed away. Yeah?
Yeah.
One of his family members would let him pray. He would go and pray in the garden. So don't worry about these things. Once you know Islam is the truth, the only thing that they're going to be left with, just as the Quraysh, the pagan Arabs, did to the Prophet, peace be upon him, and tortured him and his companions for 13 years, and killed them and tortured them for what? La ilaha illallah.
Yeah.
Just because of this state.
Let me pause that right there. They were just torturing and killing them for 13 years. Bull. There was some persecution. But I mean, just think of it. Muhammad is there mocking their religion for 13 years.
Yeah.
And he walked out of there with his life.
Yeah.
AP, if I went to the same city today and I started mocking the beliefs, the religion of the people who live there today, do you think I'd make it 13 years?
I will give you the perfect response with something that Mohammed Hijab said very recently when I asked him what would happen to somebody like me in a Muslim society who has left Islam and who has criticized Islam. He said, in an ideal Islamic society, you would be killed.
Yeah.
People would lynch you and kill you.
So you're saying I wouldn't last 13 years there mocking the religious beliefs of the people of Mecca?
You wouldn't last a day. You wouldn't last a few hours.
Yeah, so that's what that's what I find amazing. We keep getting back to this. It's, oh, look at these horrible persecutors. These were pagans. You're mocking their gods. You're mocking their religion, and you still made it 13 years there. And you're complaining about how evil they were when Ali Dawah's here, and Ali Dawah knows it. If you go there and make fun of Muhammad, they're going to chop your head off.
Yeah.
So how, guys, if you want to learn what Dawah will do to you. This is what Dawah will do to you. It will,
in countries like Pakistan, there are people are being attacked, lynched by hundreds, thousands of people during bright daylight without the police doing anything, because it has been suspected and alleged that these people have disrespected Islam or have disrespected or slandered the Prophet Muhammad without even having any proof, because people spread this rumor that this person has disrespected Muhammad. Hundreds, thousands of people come, gather in a crowd, and kick that person to death because of allegations. Mm-hmm. That's what happens in Muslim societies.
All right, let's watch a little more of this.
I myself, as a revert, was persecuted. Myself, not like that. I'm not trying to make it dramatic. I went through some stuff as well. The main message is this. Dramatic. This is the same thing you're going to go through. Yeah, you might do. I'm not saying. And walking out on the streets as a hijabi, getting attacked. These are the things, sadly, we have to be concerned about. Not is Islam the truth or not. No, wallahi. Wallahi, that's not. I speak to a lot of reverts. That's not their concern. Because they know Islam is the truth. They're concerned about, as a hijabi or a niqabi, walking down the road and being spat at, being run over, being shot when you're in the mosque. Yeah? Being shot, being vilified. Yeah? Being kicked out. Yeah? Losing your family members. Having to pray in secret. These are the things reverts have to be concerned about. So before you accept Islam, know that these things should never stop you from accepting Islam. Allah is going to make you strong. And wallahi, shall I say something as a revert myself? 7 going in 8 years, alhamdulillah, and may Allah keep us firm on the Sirat al-Mustaqim. Wallahi, every single second of that persecution, that little persecution that I went through, was damn worth it. It is damn worth it. It increased my iman.
Wallahi. All the times that people called me idiot for wanting to go around chopping heads off, it strengthened my faith so that now I can say it publicly. I'm going to chop everyone's head off. I'm going to go around sawing heads off. No, I'm not going to do it. I'll be watching. I'll be watching.
Watch.
Do you see this, AP? I mean,
there's
only like 2 minutes left, but it's hey, please respond to anything we actually said in our videos. Doesn't do that. Tries to convince people not to go and watch them. Completely misrepresents everything we said. Gives the stupidest case for Dawah that I've ever seen in my life, and that's saying something. That Islam treats women so well, that's why all these women are converting to Islam, and then it's all about how you'll be persecuted as a Muslim, when what you will face in a tolerant society if you it can happen. You can have a family that gets mad. You can have a society that's getting ticked off at terrorists and stuff. That can happen. It's nothing compared to what it's like being a Christian or an atheist or something like that in a Muslim country. Nothing.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
How does, my goodness, how do you not see this? How is this completely irrelevant to someone like Ali Dawah? This shows you what Dawah has done to him. He's the best of peoples. You're the worst of creatures. Does he care if you're persecuted? No. Does he care if you're getting your head chopped off? No, you deserve it. He'll be sitting there watching and cheering, right? This is what it does to him. So guys, if you learn nothing else, about Dawah, look at this and say, if this is what Dawah does to a person, do I really want to accept it? Because this is pretty wild.
We receive so many messages of people who have left Islam, who live in the Muslim world, in the Middle East, North Africa, Southeast Asia, whatever it is, who tell us that they have left Islam, but they are scared for their lives. They cannot come out. They cannot talk about it. They cannot reveal their true beliefs and their true identity because they are scared of being persecuted by by governments and by the society, and they are scared that their families will reject them, disown them, actually really persecute them physically or even finally kill them. People are scared. Most ex-Muslims in the Muslim world are scared, and they don't come out. They leave it. They keep that as a secret. And here we have Ali Dawah, who lives in the heart of the UK, who has a YouTube channel, and who says people who leave Islam, you know what, they should be killed. And you know what, we'll be watching. And we're proud of that, because I don't respect your right to freedom. Right to freedom is BS. You spread corruption, you should be killed. And he is in the UK openly saying that without any problems whatsoever. The police doesn't care, the YouTube doesn't care, nobody cares, nobody gives a thing. And he's really here talking about persecution. It is so ridiculous. And here we are, you, me, Islam Critiqued, come together, prepare these videos because we think it will be a good idea, it will be a good project, and actually present research on how Islam is unreliable and morally twisted. Long videos, 30 minutes in total, and all that happens is this guy saying, you know what, don't listen to that. Don't listen to that. It's all false. They're liars. They're liars. They're taking things out of context. Don't worry about whether Islam is true. Islam is true. Just trust me. Trust me. I am persecuted. People call me an idiot. This is why you should convert to Islam. Thank you for listening.
He's a magician, man. He's not a great magician, but it's all sleight of hand and magic. Look over there. Oh, magic, right? All right, let's see if we can get through this.
People who are on the verge of converting to Islam should watch our videos and then Ali Dawah's video and then make their decision.
All right, here we go.
Increase my iman, knowing that these people have nothing, be it my own family members, to these Islamophobes, to these scumbags on the road attacking sisters and brothers, innocent people, stabbing people, killing people. The only thing they fear is La ilaha.
Hey, AP, just to be clear, if someone goes out and starts, attacking Muslim women, stabbing people, shooting people, we condemn that, right? Just to be clear.
Of course we do. We have done so all the time.
Yeah. So, and guess what? So would the vast majority of people. Right? So would the vast majority of people. But notice, if we start talking about people being killed for leaving Islam or something like, he's fully on board, and so are his followers, right? So these are massive numbers of people saying, yeah, you deserve death, you will be beheaded. The overwhelming majority of comments that I received from Muslim viewers when Hatun got hit at Speaker's Corner was she deserved that. So wait a minute. The unbelievers, the critics of Islam, the apostate, these people all deserve physical violence in one form or another. And yet, when it happens to Muslims, we condemn it. We condemn violence against Muslims just for being Muslims and so on. People like Ali Dawah, they support it. They support violence against apostates. They support violence against critics and so on. So, guys, again, this is what Dawah does to you.
This is what Dawah does to your brain.
Wallahi, they fear that. That's why they burn Qurans. That's why they insult the Prophet. That's why they draw pictures. That's why they do all these things. You know why? Because they've got nothing else in their hands. So much so that 3 people who've done this video, one of them is an atheist. Imagine, atheist siding with 2 Christians. Imagine. And this is how they'll come together. All of them will come together. And these 2 Christians, one, there's a little boy here trying to be David Wood, and what do they? They've stopped talking about Christianity. They don't talk about Christianity anymore. You know why? Because people have come to the realization. A sister accepted Islam, and you can check this video out. She's the stepdaughter of a pastor. Yeah? Okay, pastor, not pastor. Yeah, pastor. She accepted Islam. Why? Because she said, and look at, there were some studies done in America. Majority.
Hold on. Now, I haven't seen this alleged video. But if I were to watch this video, let me guess, I'm going to find that she had some great reasons to convert to Islam, right? That's what I'm going to find, right, Ali Dawah? Because now I got to do it, right? I'll probably get Sam or Anthony to join me on the show. I'll play the video and we'll look at the reasons, and we're going to get good reasons, right, guys? We're going to get good reasons, or we're going to see yet again a person who had no idea what she really believes, a person who didn't have a strong foundation, person who had no idea about anything in Islam. Well, her head was filled with a bunch of nonsense from someone like Ali Dawah, and she converted.
Yep.
And this is what we're all worried about. This is why we're panicking. What can we do? They tend to freak out when, hey, atheists and Christians come together. It's like, yeah, we all agree that we do not want to be controlled by an illiterate 7th century Arabian caravan robber. We don't want to be controlled by him. Atheists agree on that. Christians agree on that. Hindus agree on that. Jews agree on that. Buddhists agree on that. That's something, you're uniting the world. Ali Dawah, we do not want, of all the things in the world that we can agree on, we do not want to be controlled by your prophet, because your prophet will try to make us like you.
This is a common Muslim sentiment. Muslims actually think this, and that's because the Quran introduces this idea and indoctrinates Muslims with this idea that people in the world are all one and the same, and they all come together and hate Islam. They are enemies of Islam. They want to stop Islam because secretly they know that Islam is the truth, and they are scared of it. Seriously, man. I mean, if we did know that Islam was the truth, we wouldn't be here attacking Islam. We would probably do something to gain the favor of Islam. You're thinking about it. Why are all these people coming together and actually criticizing our religion? Why do these people come together and hate Islam? Why is it? Is there something about my religion? Oh no, it's because they all know that my religion is the truth. That's why they attack my religion. Are you kidding me, man? This is so dumb. This is so stupid.
Hey, here you go. Here you go. You know what? Hey, look, little weaklings like you who lead their religion under an emir, we will be killed. It is done. Yeah, bruv. Why you got a problem with the religion that wants to chop your head off? Yeah.
Why do you hate it?
Why you hate this religion? My goodness, dude. It's everything we've seen from him. Hey, we get to persecute and kill you, but if you so much as say a name in return, it's the end of the world. This is what our ideology does to us. And we're not even talking about the endless terrorist attacks and always trying to control what people can say. Here's what you're allowed to say. Here's what you're allowed to wear. All this stuff. And you think it's, deep down, we know that Islam is the true religion here. We know that illiterate 7th century Arabian caravan robber who climbed on top of a 9-year-old girl when he's 53 years old, deep down we just know that he's a true prophet. We know it. That's why we're all uniting against it. My goodness, man.
Let me tell you something. If you had asked me 2 years ago, I would have probably been edgy. If you had asked me 2 years ago if Islam was true and if you knew that Islam is the truth and that Allah is the true God, what would you do? If you asked me that question 2 years ago, I would have probably wanted to sound like a rebellious, brave guy who wants to fight for justice and freedom and all of that. But I wouldn't say that today anymore, because that wouldn't be justice, that wouldn't be freedom, that wouldn't be beautiful. It would be stupid of me. I'm saying it right now. If I knew that Islam was the truth, if I was convinced that Islam is the truth and that Allah is the true God, that I must submit to Him, I would find my way, try to understand why Islam is the way it is, and I would believe in Islam and try to practice Islam. I would probably have my own understanding of it, a different understanding of it, but I would eventually say, hey, I'm not smarter than Allah, you know. And I would submit, and I would try to practice and believe in Islam again. If I knew it was the truth, I would do that, okay? I would completely do that. I'm not doing that, and I'm doing the opposite. I'm attacking and criticizing Islam because I'm 100% convinced that Islam is full of crap, that Islam is so false, that Islam can never be true. I am entirely, completely convinced of that. And I am also entirely convinced that Islam is by far the worst religion out there of all religions that exist in the world. By far the worst religion. It's not bad because it is a religion. It is bad because it is a terrible religion, a horrible religion that hates everyone and everything in the world, which is why it is no surprise that we hate it back, dear Mr. Ali D.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm the same way. If Islam were true, I would believe it. And I would be the baddest ISIS jihadi any of you have ever seen. I'm just saying. Just saying. I'm a Christian because I believe that Jesus rose from the dead. Right? It's I'll follow that. And if you have a blade at my throat, you can saw my head off. I'm not renouncing that. If I believed that Islam was true, I'd follow that. This idea that we're all secret believers who just, we just want to drink alcohol or eat pork or something like that, and so we renounce Islam, and that's why we all unite and attack it. It's, guys, we've gone through almost the entire video. There's only a minute left. Have you seen any reason to think that Islam is true? No, it's all smoke and mirrors. That's all Dawah is. It's all deception. It's all sleight of hand. It's all misrepresentation. That's all it is. And then it's, oh, look, this person had no clue what she was doing. She converted, so you should too. What is this, man? What is this? All right, let's go ahead and watch this. Close this out here.
A lot of the Christians there don't believe Jesus is actually divine. They don't believe it.
Shut up.
So people are not buying that, and the West have turned their back against Christianity. So what these hate preachers do, these Christian hate preachers, by the way, they're not the same. Because Allah said in the Quran, لَيْسُوا سَوَاءً
Oh my goodness.
مِنْ أَهْلِ الْكِتَابِ أُمَّةٌ قَائِمَةٌ يَتْلُونَ آيَاتِ اللَّهِ آنَاءَ اللَّيْلِ وَهُمْ يَسْجُدُونَ.
Please stop.
Does the Arabic help?
Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, the people of the book are not the same.
It's okay.
The Prophet ﷺ said, there is not a Muslim servant of Allah who says this 3 times in the morning and evening, except that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will be pleased with him on the day of judgment. رَضِيتُ بِاللَّهِ رَبًّا وَبِالْإِسْلَامِ دِينًا وَبِمُحَمَّدٍ صَلَّى اللَّهُ عَلَيْهِ وَسَلَّمَ نَبِيًّا. I am pleased with Allah as my Lord, and with Islam as my deen, and the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam as my messenger. La ilaha illallah. Welcome to Islam. May Allah make your path easy, and do not let these hate-filled preachers stop you. Let them beg, please don't accept Islam. Because
Please
what
don't
they're
listen
doing
to him.
is actually causing more people
Please.
to understand Islam. Till next time,
I'm
I've gotta
begging
go.
you.
My
I'm
daughter's back.
literally begging you.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Yeah.
Come. Yeah, come here. You're my camera.
All right. Well, guys, we went through the entire video, did we not?
Oh my god. This is so dumb.
Guys, did you see... Now, I mean, we do need to close out and stuff, but just notice the difference here, right? In our video, we say, hey, we understand some people convert to Islam, and our experience shows that they convert without bothering to actually examine the reasons they're converting for. In other words, lots of people, they will listen to someone like Ali Dawah or anyone else because they assume this person is speaking the truth. We tend to think that, right? When an atheist is telling me what he believes, I tend to think, okay, he's telling me what he believes about atheism. When a Jew tells me about Judaism, or a Hindu tells me about Hinduism, I tend to think that he really believes what he's saying, and he's giving me the best answers to my questions. And we think, okay, these Dawah guys are speaking the truth to the best of their ability. And so when they're talking about all these women's rights and blah, 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 blah in Islam and the scientific miracles and the perfect preservation of the Quran, people think, wow, these guys have studied this stuff and they found all this evidence. And we're saying, guys, you do not understand the sort of people you're dealing with on these Dawah teams, right? You've got some very, very deceptive people like Ali Dawah there. And notice we didn't say, hey, just believe the opposite of what they said. All we said was, hey, guys, if you do a little investigating, here's some of what you'll find, but go ahead and listen to both sides of the story, do a little closer examination before you jump into something where this same guy will want to chop your head off if you ever decide to leave it, right? So we point that out, and you compare that with Ali Dawah. Don't listen to them. Don't listen to the opposition. The opposition only exists because deep down they know it's true. They know this is all true. And hey, just ignore everything Islam actually teaches about women. I've never beat my wife, so, it's great. And you'll be persecuted because deep down they know it's true. Nothing compared to what people will be persecuted like in Muslim countries. But, someone might call you a name or something like that, and that's going to be rough. So, but hey, just know, we know 100% Islam is the truth. And so do they.
Yeah. So
That's his case. It's pathetic, man. This is not some random. This is Ali Dawah. This is Ali Dawah. He's got over 500,000 subscribers. This is what he comes up with. This is amazing stuff. All right, AP, the floor is yours.
This is what is happening. We have somebody in the room who comes and says, "Hey, I'm very interested in Islam. I think I want to convert to Islam." And then we are like, "Wait, why do you want to convert to Islam?" And then they explain us why they want to convert to Islam, and we hear that all their reasoning is just they're very shallow and very weak. And we, as people who have thoroughly studied Islam, sit down and we go, "Okay, really, this is for your own good. I want to tell you a few things about Islam. You have listened to all those people who advocate for Islam and who want you to convert to Islam. But here, I will show you a few things to explain why Islam is not true, why it is not good, and why you should not convert to Islam." And we write it down, give all the sources, say, "See, this and this and this and this and this, and that and that and that and that clearly shows that Islam is not the truth. And if you are not satisfied with this, if you want more about that topic, then go and watch that person's video. And if you want more about that topic, then go and watch that person's video." Okay? I hope you will be fine with this. Please listen to this, and please listen to both sides. And then there is Ali Dawah appears in the classroom and goes, "No, this lies. They're lying. They're lying. They're taking everything out of context. Don't listen to them. Don't listen to them. I converted to Islam, and people called me an idiot. Just trust me. I know Islam is the truth. Trust me. I know it. Okay, have a good day." That's basically what's happening. That is the entire summary of everything that has happened here.
And
fantastic.
And that's not just an entire summary of everything that's happened here. That's the entire summary of Dawah, ladies and gentlemen. Where do you go where that is not the case with Dawah, right? What do the Dawagandists do? They go into an area, they talk to a person, and hey, tell me whatever you like. Whatever you like. Oh, you like science? Alhamdulillah. The Quran is a fount of all scientific knowledge. Oh, you like women's rights? Oh, alhamdulillah, Muhammad is the greatest feminist to ever live. Oh, you want to bone a bunch of ladies and make it okay with God? No problem. You can have 4 wives and sex slaves, and you can trade them out and so on. So no problem. Whatever you want, we're the religion for you. And guys, what argument that the Dawah guys give does not fall apart at the slightest bit of scrutiny. Again, the perfect preservation? Come on. Where are you getting this from? It's made up. It's just completely made up. It's total nonsense. They all go around saying it. And stupid people convert based on this. Oh, wow, perfect preservation? Wow, that does sound like a miracle. Yeah, just don't bother to do 2 minutes of research so you can see that it's complete nonsense, right? Yeah, the scientific miracles, Muhammad in the Bible. Guys, it's all complete nonsense. It's all a magic trick. That's what Dawah is. It's one big magic trick. Let me show you how easy it is to trick people. Yeah. And we say, guys, yep. He just reached into his pocket. That's where he got the card from. Did you catch that? Did you catch that? And they flip out over it. All right. Well, AP, where are we going to be tomorrow?
Oh, tomorrow we will continue this with a different video. We will talk about Mr. Sajid Lipham, who is full of hikmah. And
he's got the hikmah.
He's got the hikmah. He's got the hikmah, bro. He's got all of the hikmah, and we want to look a little bit into that.
My quest to have the hikmah began when I was just a boy. My family couldn't afford to send me to hikmah school, so I had to learn. I had to get the hikmah on the streets, yo. Right?
Get the hikmah. Yeah, so we will talk about him and his dear friend whose name is Fard Response. And those two people came together recently and made a video in which they talked about us, again without mentioning our names, because they don't want people to listen to us. And they put us on their thumbnail too, which looked very interesting. So I want to have a look at that together with David. We will do that tomorrow, see what those people have to say, and whether they can convince us that Islam is indeed the truth and that we are a bunch of stupid liars. So the link to that will be I think David will put it here in the top comment if he doesn't forget it. He always forgets things. And you can then go directly there to that video and watch that and join us tomorrow.
All right, so yes, I will do that right after we sign out. And so, ladies and gentlemen, the conversation, the discussion continues tomorrow on AP's channel. See you all there. And then probably in the next couple of days, since Ali Dawah brought it up, haven't seen it, but we will check out the video of some woman's brilliant reasons for becoming a Muslim. And I'm sure we're all gonna convert. We're all going to convert because it's going to be awesome. I've never seen it before, but I'm sure this time it's going to be an awesome argument and not a bunch of people taking advantage of a person's ignorance.
I believe it with all my heart. Right here. I believe it with all my heart that we will be convinced. You need to do one more thing, David.
What's up?
You have the honor here. Say, stay away from Islam in Ali Dawah's voice. Do it.
We're going to stay away from Islam, yeah? And we're proud of that!
Thank you.